everyone. My name is Melissa McCack, and I'm here with my brother, Justin Maycack.
Hey, everybody.
You're listening to Room 51, where we talk about all things board gaming. And now we're actually on YouTube. So you're listening to us, you're looking at us. What?
Gonna be
Anyway,
wild.
we are doing our top 51 list of all time. This is April 5th of us recording this. Who knows when this will go up? But hopefully soon. But yeah,
Yeah,
so we're just gonna go ahead, do it up because we wanted to. We thought it might be fun. I've always kind of wanted to do this.
yeah, no, same. And I think originally it was just gonna be it was gonna be a top 25 list.
Yes.
And I think it was a fan that pointed out, right? Like, or a listener. I don't know. I don't know if we're good enough to call them a fan. Just,
No, it was actually Ryan and Bethany from Ryan and Bethany Board Game
right.
Reviews. Yeah.
Yeah, that said, like, why don't you do 51 games? And that was a really good idea.
We were like, doy. Okay. All
Yeah,
right,
so
so let's
awesome.
do it up with our number 51. Justin, why don't you start it off?
All right. So my number 51 game is it hit the list mainly because of nostalgic value. There were a few games fighting for that number 51 spot. And truthfully, if we do this list again, I did see it coming off because we haven't played it in a while. But it was one of the games that really helped us get into the hobby. And I'm actually kind of sad because it's not in print currently. And I really hope that it does become in print again. It's an older game, though. It came out in 2005 from Days of Wonder, Shadows over Camelot. It's this fun trader game. I forget if it goes up to 7 or 8 players. So
7.
it is 7 players, okay. And it's this really fun trader game that we always play it where there's not a guaranteed trader. So
The
it's
best way to play it.
it is a fun way to play it because it creates a lot of paranoia. Like, is there even a trader here? And if there isn't, then you're just trying to win the game without even worrying about the trader. But generally speaking, you're worrying the whole time if there's a trader. Maybe till like the last round, and you realize, okay, I was freaking out, but there's no trader whatsoever. So yeah, it's a really fun game that just I think really helped get us into the hobby, and that's why it hit the list. We just haven't played in a while. I hope to play it again sometime soon. Actually, I've been kind of in the mood for it. It's one that I highly recommend if you can get your hands on. Like I said, it's out of print. I hope that it comes back into print because it's a fairly popular game too.
Yeah, what was funny was I did a teach the teach on this for the Dice Tower. I did not know that it was out of print when I did the video, but oh my goodness, people were so mad at me. And
Yeah,
then
they didn't like that.
somebody said, okay, that's great, but like, where can us normal people get the game? I'm like, am I not a normal
Yeah,
person? I
come
don't
on.
know.
We picked it up like everybody else while it was in print.
Yeah,
And how would we have known if we owned the game? Why am I going to just easily know that the game's out of print now? You
yeah.
know?
Well, anyway, my number 51 is it's a card-driven game. It's got superheroes in it, but no actual like IP superheroes. And I'm talking about Sentinels of the Multiverse by Greater Than Games. And I really like this game. It just squeaked onto the list. You get your own deck of superheroes, or actually, you play as one of the superheroes and you get a deck that matches that superhero, and you have your own special abilities within those cards, and you're taking down the big bad villain. Altogether, it's a cooperative game. I love co op games, and I love superhero theme. And I think that the theme is just sort of oozing through this game. Like the rule book is sort of written like a comic book. The
Yeah.
cards make you feel like you're playing through a comic book. I love it. I love that there's also like different environments that could be played in the game, and they could really change up the aspect of what's going on. I really enjoy this one.
Yeah, there's a lot of replayability in that base
Yeah.
box, which is really nice. And you really, I mean, I know for me actually, I want to like try all the different heroes and everything. So yeah, I really like that game as well.
Yeah,
All right,
there's a nice
nice.
amount of expansions too.
Yeah. All right, cool.
All right.
So,
Going on to my number 50. So, my number 50 is a what people call, I guess, a gateway game, and it is a Euro game. It's pretty light. It's pretty I mean, I think it's a lot of fun. It's my number 50. And it is Century Golem Edition by Plan B Games.
Yeah, nice.
And yeah, so first of all, Golem Edition is the only way to play it. No Spice Road for me, baby.
Yeah, doesn't make sense to play Spice Rose.
No, why? But they're essentially the same game. It's just a reskin. I like the Golem look much better. But yeah, you're collecting these gems. You're trying. It's really a race to complete. It's not a race. That's not
Yeah,
true.
it's not a race. It's like inside where you can trigger the end of the game, but it
Right.
doesn't mean you won. Yeah.
Right. But you are racing to get certain objectives done, right? Because you might be going for, like me and Justin, we might be going for the same objective, trying to get the same variation of gems in order to cash them in for those points, but only one of us could get it, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
at the end of the game, yeah, whoever has the most points wins the game. I like it. It's super breezy. You're just doing a couple things. You're just like, boom, that's my turn. You're taking like one action, I think. You're either buying cards or you're playing your cards or you're resting and just picking all your cards back up. I know somebody kind of called it like a deck building game, but I don't think
Yeah.
it's really a deck builder.
More engine building, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely more of an engine building game.
Eh,
I really enjoy it.
It's definitely thinky. Like, I agree that it's a gateway game. It's kind of light in terms of rules, but you can get very mathy with it if you want. And I wouldn't call it a mathy game, but you're going to have moments where you're really starting to do math in your head, especially if you're looking at somebody else's gems and trying to think how many turns until they're able to buy this card and how many turns until I'm able to buy this card
Right.
with what I'm able to do. So yeah, I really like that game as well. And it's one of those mechanics of one of the players is going to trigger the end of the game. That's a mechanic that took me a little bit to get used to and to start being okay with. Because at first I didn't like that. I was like, no, I want to know when the game's gonna end. I don't like this whole it ends when somebody triggers the end. I didn't appreciate that at
I
first.
love it. It,
I've
it
grown to
causes
really
such
like it.
tension. Like, oh
Yeah.
man, I just need two more turns, but this dude, I know he's gonna freaking end it.
Yeah, absolutely. That to me is one of the most stressful mechanics in board games. Like that mechanic, as it's nearing the end in a game like Scythe or even Century Golem, I feel a lot of tension from that. All right, nice. So my number 50 is from, is it pronounced Yellow, the
Yeah.
publisher? Yeah, it is,
Yes.
right? Okay. Because obviously I automatically thought ILO, but everybody says Yellow. So Yellow.
Yeah, that.
Uh, it's a fun card drafting game where you play some bunnies down and you put in castles and you're trying to like link your bunnies together with the different resources. It's called Bunny Kingdom. Uh, Bunny Kingdom is a really, really fun card drafting game for me. Like Seven Wonders is a really good one too. I really liked it. Bunny Kingdom is only this low on the list as I haven't played it enough. I think this is one that's going to keep bumping up the more I play it. I absolutely love it. Like it's just super breezy. It's very snappy. You just hit your cards. There's a lot of really nice decision making. It is again a little mathy, which I'm okay with. I don't mind that. It's not too mathy though. And I think the decision making that you get every time you receive a hand is really tricky. And like you also are even thinking, do I want to blot this person? A lot of people call it a mean game. I haven't played it where it felt that mean, but I think some people will find it like, nope, I just got blocked. I hate this game. For me, I love that. And yeah, there's just a lot of really fun decision making, and the point totals can get really crazy. Like you can easily be storing. I shouldn't say easily, but you can definitely have a game where somebody's storing 300, 400 points maybe. And yeah, it's just a really fun one that I would like to get to the table more.
Yeah, this one was not one that I liked. I only really played it once. I feel like I would like to play it again just to confirm my hatred for it. No, I didn't hate the game. I
Yeah.
just wasn't a huge fan. I thought it was okay. It wasn't super fun for me. But yeah, I want to try it one more time just to see. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood that day. Who knows? Whatever.
Yeah.
But I guess I don't know. I thought Bunny Kingdom, and I was like, whoa, like adventure. And then it just
No.
wasn't. It was just like bunch of freaking plastic on the board, math.
Yeah, it's a lot of math, and I think it's supposed to feel more warring than the way we played it. We were very out of each other's way, whereas I think a lot of people play it where they're blocking each other more, so it really starts to feel like more aggressive. I love it. I honestly though, I think if you don't like card drafting, you're not gonna like this game. Like, because this is one of those games that, like, the card drafting mechanic is purely the game. You know, like Blood Rage, that's not as much the case. Like, the card drafting is an important piece of the game, but there's other factors to it. For me, Bundling Kingdom, the game is pure card drafting, and I really like that.
All right. On to our number 49. Justin, I
Oh
think it
yeah,
is
so
your
I'm gonna
go.
sorry. So my number 49, I do really like this game, but when I first saw the bots, I expected it to be a game that I was gonna love. Like, I mean, really love. And like, don't get me wrong, I made this list, so I do love the game. I think it's a really good game, and I want to play it more. I honestly, the bots though, I really thought it was gonna be like, oh man, this is a top 20 game possibly. So I'm kind of like underselling it. Like, no, it's really good. And it's a lot of fun. I love the bots cover though.
What is
It,
it?
it's Charterstone from Stonemeler. The bots cover gave like such a like this mystique to it. That's je ne sais quoi. Uh, and I got really excited to open it up and play it. And I do really love the game. It's a fun Euro uh, worker placement.
Hmm.
Yeah, worker placement. And
Legacy.
it's legacy. That was another thing. The fact that it was legacy got me really excited, and then the lack of story kind of got me like, oh, this isn't a legacy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like calling the crew a legacy almost. Like, but what is cool about the legacy aspect, and it's something that like redeemed it from not having a story, was the fact that uh, you're building the board that you're playing on. Like, you get to decide where like the stickers go and stuff, and that's actually really cool for me. I thought that was a really neat touch, and there's a lot of fun decision making in the game. Uh, the thing that actually is almost a slight drawback for me with the legacy aspect. So I hate like when I have to wait forever for it to get back to my turn and whatnot. And that can sometimes happen in the game because it's like, all right, open crate 54. So now somebody has like did through the box, find crate 54, look at it, make sure it's the right one before they pop it open. Then somebody pops it open and says what they have and everything. And I get tired of that kind of stuff. And this is me just trying to explain the reasoning why this isn't higher on my list, because I really love the game. I actually find it a lot of fun. And the game, I have a feeling that once we're done with the whole legacy aspect and we're just playing the game, I could see this bumping up higher on my list. I think that because of the legacy aspect that we've been playing with, it's actually been a little drawback for me. So yeah, but I do really love this game, Charterstone from Stonemeyer.
All right.
The crew is not a legacy game. I think you gave me some eyes.
Yeah, I was like, what? But I wasn't gonna say anything.
What happens? So for me, it's not a legacy because you're not actually impacting the story whatsoever. If that makes sense. Like, nothing's actually happening. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, the Charterstone story, yeah, it's lightly there. Yeah, I think it
yeah.
gets a lot of flack for that. That's for sure. But my number 49 is a small game with it. I mean, it's a small box
Okay.
with an epic game inside of it.
Tiny Epic Galaxies.
It is Tiny Epic Galaxies.
Sorry to steal your thunder.
I love this game. I love the Tiny Epic franchise. I don't care what anybody says. Those games are fantastic. I love them. I love that they're small and I love that they pack a freaking punch. I think that really the only reason why they get flack is because of the name Tiny Epic. I guess it's like arrogant,
It is a little arrogant.
but I don't care. It's exactly what it is. That's that. But anyway, Tiny Epic
I like
Galaxies,
it.
you're
I don't know.
Tiny Epic Galaxies, you're going around, you're colonizing planets. You're possibly getting special benefits when you have colonized the planet, or you could just go to the planet to use its sort of special ability right then and there. First one to, I think it's 21 points, wins the game. It's not all that long of a game, which is cool. It takes maybe like an hour-ish, but yeah, I like it. I like the following mechanic where you could so certain people will roll dice or whatever, and then you're always involved because even if it's not your turn, you're looking at what the other person is doing because you might want to use some of the actions that they're using. So I really like that Tiny Epic Galaxies allows itself to be that way. So that's my number 49, Tiny Epic Galaxies by Gamelyn Games.
Yeah, the tiny epic games I've played, they're very much like I like them, and I think it's cool of how much game is in such a small box. They're just not at the love point for me,
Wrong. Wrong.
I guess. So I think it's your go now, right?
All right. So my number 48 is another Tiny Epic.
Oh my god.
It
I
was
know
just a
what this one is, so I won't say it.
smidge, a little bit smidge better. It could have honestly swapped on any other day of the week. Like if I made this list today, maybe it would have swapped. I don't know.
Fair enough.
But my number 48 is Tiny Epic Quest. I really like this one. It's got that Legend of Zelda vibe to it. I know a lot of people talk about that. It's really the artwork and then like some of the things because what it is, you're going around, you have your little meeples, and I think this is where the item meeples were introduced, which is really cool. And they actually mattered in this one. So you're going around with your meeples, you're either forming formations with your meeples to accomplish certain quests, or you're going through temples to maybe also accomplish certain quests. You could gain new weapons, you're fighting off goblins. There's a lot of different ways you could get points in this game, and it's only 5 rounds. It's not that long of a game. And I really like the mechanic of you choose what movement everybody's going to use for that turn, I guess, which is really interesting to me. And it's kind of like, okay, what am I going to do with what I've been given? I love those kind of games where you kind of have to adapt and then you go towards your strategy with whatever has been given to you.
Oh, like Tiny Towns?
Well, we're not going to get into that right now, but Tiny Epic Quest is my number 48.
All right. I haven't played Tiny Epic Quest. That does sound like a game I would like. Um, Especially because, like you said, you have to deal with what you've been given, and that's kind of like what happens in Tiny Towns. And I really love that about Tiny Towns. It creates a lot of really awesome decision making. So yeah, cool pick. I like it. Uh, but I haven't played it yet. I do want to play that game. So my number 48 is one of the first from indie. Sorry, not this isn't one of the first games from indie boards and cards, but I've realized that there's a few on my list, especially in this 10 that are from indie boards and cards. So the first one on my list is Coup. It's a fun little bluffing game that plays really quickly, and it's fun to. I really like that when you can bring a game to the table, and within a half hour, you should have played like 3 games of it. I really enjoy that. I enjoy bluffing a lot, so everybody gets to influence like people that they've influenced, so like assassin, the dude, things like that, and you claim. Then when it comes to your turn, you claim which one you're using to do whatever action is available, but you could be lying, and somebody might say, no, I challenge, and then you have to reveal if you have it or not. uh, or somebody else would even bluff and be like, nope, I have this guy who I'm going to use to block yours, and all that stuff. And they could be bluffing. And I really like that. I think that it's a very fast, just snappy experience. Um, I've played some games where it does just get really wonky, and I guess sometimes you can get a little lucky. But overall, I find it to be a really good and fun experience, especially for what it is. It's just supposed to be a 10-minute, quick little bluffing game, and it just plays really well. So yeah, my number 48, Coup.
Yeah, I'm surprised this one made your list. I really like it too. But yeah, I wouldn't have expected that. Cool.
Yeah, no, I actually really liked it. It's one that we did to the table every now and then. I would probably like to add it to the table more, but when it comes to like filler games, and that's kind of what I view too as, I view it as a really good filler game.
Yeah, I agree.
Uh, I like diversifying though which filler games are hitting the table also, so I'm okay with it not being always the filler that gets chosen. So yeah, my
All right,
number. Oh,
on to the 47.
oh, okay. It's my 47, right? I know.
Yeah.
All right, cool. This is the game that started it all. By Rio Grande Games, my number 47 is Dominion, a deck building game that is one that I really, really love, but we have not played it enough.
Yeah,
um,
we haven't.
we haven't played it enough, but this is actually a game that can really hit high on my list, I think. Not, I would say like it had potential to hit my top 25 if we played it a lot, but we don't. Sadly. I really like Dominion. I like deck building. I find deck building fun. And even though Dominion is probably like it's quite on the lighter side, I'm very okay with that. I don't mind a game being lighter. I find the decision making in Dominion to be a lot of fun. It's a snappy game. I really like that, where I don't have to wait forever for it to get to my turn. It's just, it's a very quick. I wouldn't call it quick. It's like 30 to 45 minutes, maybe an hour with newer players and stuff. But the decision making in it is just a lot of fun, and it's just a great way to show people deck building. You know, if you want to show somebody Marvel Legendary and they've already played Dominion, they're at a great spot already. Like I love that. It's so deck building at its core, and I really like that. So yeah, my number 47, Dominion.
Good pick. My number 47 was a game that we played at 2019's PAX Unplugged. I was not expecting anything really. We went over to demo this game. We actually played the whole game through, and it was a lot of fun. And the game itself looked intimidating, right? All of it out on the table, and I was like, oh my god, is this like a 2 to 3 hour game? I'm usually okay with that, but I was like, "Oh, okay, let's check it out, right?" And I'm talking about Endeavor Age of Sail by Burnt Island Games. This game is only an hour, and it's got everything under the sun in it. It's got worker placement, engine building, area control. Plays in a freaking hour. It blew my freaking mind. I loved this game so much. The person who sold us the game and demoed the game to us made fun of me because I did so horribly bad, and that's okay. No hard feelings. um, but no, it was really funny. It was a lot of fun, and I wound up getting the game on the spot, and I usually don't do that. But this game really just, I was so enamored by it. We played it a few times now. It probably would have been higher on the list, but the past couple times I've played it haven't been amazing experiences, but it's not really the game's fault. I think it was the people's fault. But either way, I think the game is really good, and I definitely want it to hit the table again. We played it a few times now. It's just been, I just really like it. I think it's so good. And the component quality is really nice as well, I think. So that's my number 47, Endeavor, Age of Sail.
Yeah, this game hits higher on my list, spoiler alert. Uh, and yeah, I mean, like you said, it has all of that and it plays in an hour, and I absolutely love that. Now, I'm not somebody, and you're gonna see this on my list. I do appreciate a shorter game. I really like shorter games, but I can definitely play a long game and still love it. Endeavor is one that like you would imagine it to be a 2 to 3 hour game with how you just described it, but it plays in only an hour and so smoothly.
Yeah,
So yeah, I really
I
like
think
that
that's
pick.
the perfect word for it. It's a smooth game.
Yeah.
All right, 46. So this is a game, comes in a small box. It's not a tiny epic one though. But it is a two-player game and it is deck building. I'm talking about Hero Realms. Hero Realms is just so awesome. I feel like, first of all, if you like Magic the Gathering or really any sort of CCG, I think you would like Hero Realms because it packs all of that into one little session, one punch, right? And what you're doing is you're building up your deck and you're trying to destroy the opponent's health points, right? And what's also cool is if you get the hero packs for Hero Realms, you don't necessarily need them, but I like them. If you get the hero packs, you start off with a specific starter deck that you start to build into then, and they give you a couple of special abilities, and you would think that it wouldn't change it up all that much, but it really does, and it's very cool. I like that a lot. Feeling like I am the fighter, or the thief, whatever it might be. And it's really cool. It's easy to teach, I think, and just sort of easy to play. It doesn't take all that long. Again, it lasts maybe a half an hour. I've had games though that have lasted like maybe 45 minutes just because like it was such a back and forth, but it was still tense, and I liked that. Um, but yeah, that's my number. What is this? 46 Hero Realms.
Yeah, that's another game that I just have to play it. Then I only played it once, and it's just one that I need to play it then. Yeah. All right. Nice. So my number 46 is my second game from Indie Boards and Cards. It's a party game that it's social deduction, and it's the Resistance. I really do love this game. We've started to play it less, and I think it's because we've had a decent amount of. Did you hear that from outside? All right, apologies for that. So the Resistance. It's a game that I love, and we've definitely played it less than I think because we have more party games now and whatnot. It's really funny how much people will just start yelling at each other and like, especially on that last round where, all right, we need 5 people to go on. Well, if you're playing at the max player count, because it depends on what player count you're at. So you might need like 5 people to go on the mission, and none of them can be spies. So we'll all start arguing about, all right, no, you can't bring this person to spy and whatnot. And there will be just one person that's quiet, nobody's yelling about, and they're like, yeah, just bring them onto the mission. And at the end of the mission, you find out that person was the spy, and it wins the spy the games. I love that. I love the tension that starts to occur in that. I really enjoy social deduction also. For example, like the game like Deception, Murder in Hong Kong is another one. And The Resistance was one of those games that also has that nostalgia factor to me because it's one of the earlier social deduction party games that we started playing. So yeah, my number 46, The Resistance.
I like that one. That was actually a little bit of a surprise pick for me. It did not make my list, but one that I thought about. I think that we did play it so much, and it's led to us not playing it as much now. And then right when I got Avalon Resistance, which I really like because it gives you now special abilities and everything.
Yeah.
And I think I just like that theming a little bit better than the sci-fi theme. Not that the theme really matters, but um, that is one that I would like to see hit the table a little bit more, especially Avalon Resistance. Come on, people.
Yeah, honestly, that's my 51 through 41. A lot of them are games that I'm just like, man, I would really like this to hit the table more.
Yeah.
And I think that's a reason why they're also lower on the list. So yeah. All right. So now we're on to 45,
Whoop,
correct?
whoop. Heck yeah.
All right. So my number 45 is from Fantasy Flight Games, and it's another game that's out of print, which I feel kind of bad about. Uh, I think a lot of people are hoping that it comes back into print, and especially for the expansions for us. Uh, did I give away which game
I
it
think
is?
so. Yeah.
All right. It is another social deduction game actually, but that's not like the main piece of it. Uh, Battlestar Galactica. Uh, I mean, it's Battlestar Galactica in a box. Not exactly.
Kind of.
But
Kind of.
it is. It's a very good way. Like War of the Ring is Lord of the Rings in a box, and that's how I think. For me personally, I think they did a really good job. I think BSG did a really good job also for putting that series into a box. Um, just having that tension of needing to manage things like the morale and those kinds of tracks, trying to jump to Earth, so having to get to the point where you can jump, and then worrying about, like the Cylons coming around, getting nukes on your ship, all those things, and you nuking. There's so much to manage, and then plus the possibility of a Cylon on your ship is just insane, and trying to like figure out and argue who's the Cylon, it gets really tense, but it's also like you need to be worrying about other things too. So you can't only be worrying about that. So yeah, it's a really fun game. It causes a lot of tension. I would say the only reason why maybe it's a little lower on the list is maybe because of its length. I'm not sure. I want to play it again, and honestly, because this is a game where I'm like, is it one that might slowly fall off of my list, or is it one that can possibly like have a resurgence for me and move up on my list? I don't know. I want to play more of it again. Like, and we played a lot of it. It's one of our earlier board games. I really liked it though. Battlestar Galactica, my number 45.
Yeah, I'm kind of mad at you that it is this slow. You freaking jerk.
I am.
Such a nerd. My God. All right. My number 45 is another two-player game. And again, I think this could have swapped any given day. But it is by Emperor S4 and it is Hanamikoji. This game is
Nice.
so freaking beautiful in a couple of different ways. One, the artwork is awesome. I love it. Justin, where'd you go? Hey,
Sorry,
BB.
I dropped something. I'm here.
Don't leave me. But no, yeah, so the artwork is beautiful in this game. The way the game works is beautiful. It's this tug of war between the two players, and you're trying to win the favor of these geishas by playing certain cards. It's so thinky, so strategic. It's deceptively strategic, actually. And
Yeah,
it's deceptively deep, this game. And it
I think
lasts
so.
about, yeah, and it lasts all in like 15 minutes. I feel like a lot of my games on this top 10-ish list or whatever is lighter or quicker games, rather. Um, but yeah, so Hanamikoji, I've been loving Emperor S4 games lately,
Hmm.
but Hanamikoji has just been, it's just so good. I love it.
Yeah, I really love this one too. It actually, I don't think it does hit my list, only because when this list was actually made, I hadn't played it enough for it to hit my list. And then we
Okay,
made the
okay.
list and I played it more. I'm like, oh my, this is hitting my list. And that's time we made it. And I really think it's going to.
There we go.
Uh, and it's one that when you show a new player, they need to play it the second time almost always. Because you usually, maybe like halfway through the first playthrough, they're like, I see. I'm starting to get, oh, this is thinky. Like, yeah. So yeah, that's a really good pick.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I got that feeling from my first play because,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I really like this one. All right, number 44. So, another lighter game that plays in about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm talking about Kingdomino from Blue Orange Games. Kingdomino, I was not, when I first played the game, I thought, cool, I like it. Then I played it a second time, I'm like, yeah, I'm still kind of digging it, you know. And then I don't know what happened. The more I played it, the more I was like, man, I really like this game. It's just it's so simple to get to the table. You could chill at like late at night. I love to play this game. It's just I don't know. There's something very uh like I don't know, calming about playing the game, where I'm just sort of yeah, I'll take this tile, cool. But then there's like just the right amount of tension, right, where I'm still engaged in the game. I still want to win, but I don't know. It's one of those games where it's like I'm gonna chill and play this game, and I don't know. It's really good. Also, you could teach it to pretty much anybody. But that's my number 44, King Domino.
That's a fantastic pick. Should have been higher on your list. Surprised it's not. Uh, I love Kingdomino. I'll talk more about it later.
Okay, okay.
All right, so my number 44 is from Days of Wonder, Five Tribes. That's a nice, thinky Moncala style board game. This was one of those games that, like, when I first saw the cover of it, wasn't that interested. First played it, I thought it was pretty cool. And then the second time I played it, that second time I played it, where I was like, I like this game. I really like this game. Uh, it's one of those games that I don't think it hits the table enough, and I wish it would. But it's a lot of fun. It's thinky. It's hard to think about what to do on your turn, what you're going to do on your turn while waiting for your turn because the board state can really switch. Uh, I think like the different options you have available to you are what really add to the game. So yeah, and if you liked Montala growing up or anything, I highly recommend playing and trying this game. And I like the theming and the art personally. I'm into that kind of stuff. And yeah, I don't know. This is one of those games that I could see it again moving up higher on my list if it got more plays. But I mean, there's also a reason I think why. Like, I'm okay with it being lower on the list because it doesn't get played enough. Because that says something about the game still. Like, oh, we're not pulling it off of the shelf that often. So that does say something to me about the game still. So I'm okay with it being lower on my list for not being played often. Uh, but Five Tribes is one that I would like to get to the table more. And I would call it a fairly like mid-weight game. Like, I think you can teach this to a lot of people that are just getting past gateway games. Like, I think it's a decent one to show those people, to show them like I personally I could see it being seen as like a step up kind of game.
A
I
step
personally,
up, maybe. I don't
if you
know.
have a teacher, like if
Yeah.
somebody can teach the game to them, that's
I
that's
guess it
how I
depends
feel
on the
about that.
person.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So that's my number 44, Five Tribes.
On to the number 43.
All right. So number 43 for me is from Plan B Games, Century Golem Edition. Uh, yeah. I was actually surprised to see this actually as low as it was on your list, Melissa, because I thought you liked this more. Well, no, I still think you do like this more than me. I think we just put it on our list differently. Because also, let's be real, like anything that's within this first 10,
Yeah.
it it's fairly interchangeable, honestly. Like
Yeah, for sure.
if I made this today, it probably looked very different. Um, but yeah, so Century Golem Edition, not much to say over what you said, but I I love it for gateway games. I love it as if you're just playing with gamers. It's a snappy game, and I really like that when turns are just going and like everybody's just doing this thing and whatnot, and you're like kind of starting to pay attention to, okay, is somebody gonna trigger the end? And it's really mathy, and you can get some AP in this game. uh yeah, and it's a game that really grew on me. Again, like my first play, I was like, oh, I'm okay, and I wasn't sure how I felt about that mechanic of a player triggering the end, but I'm okay with it now, and I kind of like it. Like, I like trying to think like, okay, what can I do before somebody triggers the end of this game? So yeah, my number 43, Century Golem Edition.
Yeah, Justin needs to play games about 5 times before he could decide that he actually likes it. Usually the first few times he's like, nah, I don't like it.
That is true for a lot of games. But there's a game in my top 10 that I think you're gonna like want to kill me on, and I'm gonna say how many times I played this game. So yeah,
Okay. Um, so my number 43 is a very cool little game that has, I guess, sort of a gimmick, but it doesn't because you kind of it really contributes to actually playing the game. I'm talking about Potion Explosion by Horrible Guild. Um, this I don't like Bejeweled or any of those things. I really don't. So I thought like, oh, okay, I'll probably be okay on Potion Explosion. Nope, freaking love this game. I don't know what it is. I guess just that it's now tangible makes it more fun for me.
I could see
Um,
that. Yeah,
yeah, it's really cool, and I really like that you're. So it's like it's got that bejeweled mechanic, whatever, cool, and they made it tangible. But then when you fill up your potions, you can actually use them, and they give you special abilities, one-time use special abilities, right? And that also brings that, like, if that didn't exist, it probably would not have made my top 51. I would have thought like, okay, cool, it's cool. Maybe like, oh, whoever gets the most matches, whatever it would be, more bejeweled like, I guess.
Right.
But it just adding the fact that I can now gain special abilities, and then it even has set collection and everything. Man, this game is really good. And the component quality is pretty good too.
It is actually. I mean, some of the marbles are a little wanty for a lot of copies. I know ours is kind of wanty.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, a little bit. You're right.
not
It sucks.
terrible.
Component quality terrible.
Never mind, never
Never
mind. Yeah,
mind.
awful. I agree with you though. It has a gimmick that it doesn't feel like an actual gimmick. It feels like
No.
it's there for the game.
Yeah, it
Uh,
felike it has a purpose.
yeah, no, it's a
Love
cool
it.
game. It didn't hit my list, and I actually
What?
think it says I'm bad at it. Yeah, like thinking about it, I'm like, oh man, while you're talking about this, I'm like, oh, actually, I like this game more than I realized. I think it says I'm bad at it. Like, I've never won. I've come in second place a decent amount of times, and I think that also kind of tells me. Like, I think 3 separate occasions I thought I won, and somebody beat me by like 2 or 3 points. Things like that.
Got you. I think that I'm not that bad at the game. I'm usually pretty terrible at a lot of them, but this one I think I'm kind of decent.
Right. Okay.
All right, number 42. So this game, it's got that kooky, quirky theme to it, and even the way it works is kind of kooky. I'm talking about The Bloody Inn by Pearl Games.
Okay.
The Bloody Inn, I think, has gone slightly underrated, and but it's cool. So what you're doing is it's got that theme of, and I think we talk a lot about this on our podcast, this game, I guess because we love it, but it's got this theme of you are running a hotel and you realize that, you know what, I could actually make more money if I kill my guests. Now the game, so that sounds really horrible and gruesome, but the game does not take itself seriously.
Yeah.
Um, and you're going around and you're trying to kill your guests or use them as accomplices, uh, and there's cops that come through and they might you might get caught right by the cops, and you have to be careful because you can't just kill the guests. You have to bury them. You might be burying them under other people's annexes just to get them out, and get the money from them. The person with the most money at the end wins the game. It is one of those games that again is deceptively strategic, I think, and it is a kooky game. It's an economic game that disguises itself as something silly.
Yeah, you're right. Like, I was not expecting the decision making to be just as present in the game,
Yeah.
honestly, as it is. Yeah. No, I agree with that. It's deceptive in that
Yeah, so
way.
that's my number 42, The Bloody Inn.
Nice. I like that one a lot. All right, cool. So my number 42, I believe is the first roll and write or flip and fill that I've ever played. I might be wrong about that though. Um, because I am also like somewhat newer to the hobby, so if there's ones that are way older than that, then maybe I should have played. I don't know. Apologies. Write that in the comments though for sure. Uh, and this one I loved because the first time I played it, the point disparity in this game. So because it's a flip and fill. So we all had the same options, but the point disparity was absurd. And it's from, again, my other game from Indie Boards and Cards. It's Totoro Avenue of the Kodama. Um, so it was me, Melissa, and my girlfriend Sabrina. We play this game. Sabrina scored, I think, like over 100. I scored like 42, and Melissa got a 9.
But I worked really hard for that 9.
She did. She really went for it. It's a really, it is so. All right. I love how the scoring works. So to explain, there's what is it like 4 or 5 rounds? Oh no, I'm blanking. I knew it. I played it recently. Doesn't matter. Let's say there's 5 rounds, which there might not be. Might be 4. If you scored 20 in that first round, in your next round, if you scored a 17, you have to turn that into a 0 because you have to score higher than what you got in your highest round. and all of your zeros at the end are worth -5s. So if you had a really great first round, you might have just screwed yourself for the rest of the game. And I love that. I think that's awesome. I really appreciate that. And like they really make those zeros extra punishing. In some games, I'd be like, oh my God, this just sucks. In this game, I think it's amazing. It's hysterical to me. And yeah, it's one of those games that I it made me really like, honestly, rolling rights and flipping fills. Like now I play like cartographers, Trails of Tucana is coming in, not mine but Sabrina's, and I'm really excited for that. Silver and gold, things like that. Like this game really opened my eyes to that, and I loved it. So yeah, my number 42, Kokoro, Avenue of the Kodama.
Yeah, that game is fun. Didn't make my list, but it is. I like it for its light little flip and fill. By the way, the first roll and write you've ever played actually was
Yahtzee.
Yahtzee.
I literally was thinking in my
The
head once
dum
I was
dum.
done, I was like, Melissa's gonna say Yahtzee. All right, that's fair. That's fair.
All right, my number. Oh, we're up to 41.
Oh, sorry. So I did my 41, right?
Yeah, here we go.
All
Last
right.
one of the series. I mean, not the series. This episode.
All right, so this one is a crossover with Melissa. So this is our second crossover now, right? Century and this game,
Oh yeah,
Sentinels.
you're right. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So my number 41 is Sentinels of the Multiverse by Greater Than Games. Like you said, this was a game that once it got open and I was like looking at the rule book, what looks like a comic book, and all of it, it's like it's not based off of an IP. They just like totally made this up, and that really like blew me away, and just everything was just comic book and great. And I love when a game does that. For example, a game like New York Slice, how the bots look like the pizza bots and like things like that. I love that. That like I think it's Sunday Split also has this where like the way you do scoring is a receipt. It looks like a
Oh
receipt. I think that's also in New York Slice.
no, I
I
think
think.
that's just New York Slice. I don't think Sunday Split has that.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure.
No, I think they both have it. I think they
They
both
might.
have it. And I just love when games have that where they really make just the theme go throughout the game from the mechanics to everything about the bots inside the bots, the rulebook, the story card. I love that. Uh, and Sentinels like kind of does that, and it really puts you into this universe that the designers just made up. And there's a lot of replayability, a lot of fun decision making. I like card games, so just yeah, everything about it. The environments add this nice layer, and it's not like too heavy or anything. It's a one that's fairly easy, I think, to show newer players. And uh I don't know if like brand new players can just pick this up and learn it themselves. I'm not positive on that. But I definitely think that you can easily show a newer players how to play this game, help them out, and it's a fun little co-op. So yeah, my number 41, Sentinels of the Multiverse.
All right. I actually didn't realize how much you liked this game. I thought that you were meh on it. It wasn't until recently where you started really talking about this game where I was like, oh, I didn't realize Justin even really liked that game that
Uh,
much.
yeah, no, I love Sentinels. Marvel Champion sucks. But yeah, Sentinels is good. I haven't made a decision on Marvel Champions yet. I enjoy saying that it sucks, but I'm okay on it. I haven't made a decision on. It's on the fence for me. But
Anyway, so we were
Sentinels is
talking
good.
about Sentinels, right? All
Sentinels is
right.
good.
Well, my number 41 is another light game. I don't know what it was. I typically like longer, meatier games, but I'm realizing now that this 10 or 11 games were on the lighter side.
It might
But
be
maybe that's also
because
why they're
yeah,
lower on the list.
exactly.
But they all suck. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
But they're great. So my number 41 is a push your luck type of game. I have recently come to realize that I love push your luck in games. I usually do really bad at them though, but It is what it is.
So yeah, you're kind of just like, let me go for it. Like,
Yeah, I'm just like, let's see what can happen.
yeah.
And I'm talking about Celestia, another small box game. I guess I like small boxes too. But yeah, Celestia for sure. I have pretty much turned that game into a co-op with my group where we're like, come on, everybody, let's make it all the way to the end and then see if we do it. And then, of course, there's some backstabbing, which was really uncalled for, but okay.
Yeah.
Pretty much in this game, one person each, I guess, turn you're the captain. When it's your turn, you are the captain, and you're gonna roll these dice, and then whatever it might be, if it's like a cloud or a lightning bolt, whatever it is, you have a hand of cards, and you have to have those cards and play them in order to um, make sure you don't get, I guess, hit by those things. Otherwise, your ship crashes, and everybody in the ship crashes with you. Now, people can also decide if they want to jump ship and say, like, nope, I'm good. I'm not going on any longer. I'm going to stay right here, grab my little points. Fine. Or you could keep going and press your luck, and maybe you could get bigger and better points. Uh, but it becomes more and more challenging because now people's hand of cards are dwindling. You might not have everything you need. You start to roll more dice along the journey. I just love it. The tension in the game, the excitement of rolling dice. I love dice too. Oh my goodness. But yeah, and I really like the artwork, the component quality in the game. They actually have like a little model ship in there. I mean, it's made out of cardboard, but
Yeah.
it's cool. And I like that. So that's my number 41, Celestia.
I absolutely love this game. I actually would have thought it would have ended up a little higher on your list. Kind of surprised.
I've just got other bigger and better games,
Yeah.
baby.
That
Coming.
even might be part of the reason, just as it is a smaller, lighter game, and I do think you go for more meat in a game.
Yeah.
I feel I think I'm pretty mixed, but I might actually err a little towards the lighter side. But I think the meat in the game is what can really make me absolutely love the game, like be blown away by a game. But yeah, all right. I love Celestia. So all right, good pick.
Thanks, dude. I know.
Yeah,
All right, well, that was our 40, or what was it?
nice. Okay, so that was 51 through 41.
Yes, it was that. Anyway, this has been our top 51 games of all time. This is just the 51 to 41. You're going to want to stay tuned for our next set of games where we'll be doing 40 to 39 or something like that. No, we won't. That would only be two
What?
games.
40 to 31.
That's what it is. I can't do math right now.
It's not
Or
even
numbers.
math.
Whatever it is.
All right.
Anyway, thank you so much for listening or watching. If you were watching this, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Melissa McHack. You could also find us on Facebook called Room 51. And let us know some of the games that you like, what you thought of our picks. We would love to hear it. Maybe what your 51 to 41 would be. Anyway, you've been listening to / watching